We're here today at Meadow Stud, the home of Shira'aa Racing. We're here today with Kieran Lawler and he's going to show us around. The Muirta McKenna Shira'aa Stakes is on Sunday.
Yes.
She's a very special mare to you. You've been on quite an international journey yourself, and so is she. Could you tell us a little bit more about her journey?
Yeah, so obviously she won a listed race in France, and she ran second in the Sotsas in a Group 2. The Sotsas, as we all know, went on to win the French Derby and the Arc and was champion 3-year-old. So we decided at the end of that season to ship her out to Christophe Clement in America, who trains for us as well. And she excelled over there. She won 3 Group 3s, a Group 2 and a Group 1, the E.P. Taylor Stakes, which is a very important race for fillies especially. So as very sound filly, took us across the world. An unfortunate part of her whole career was she won, well, it's not unfortunate, but she won the Group 1 during COVID. So I got to celebrate the Group 1 on my own in Toronto, which was lots of fun.
And she's back here in Ireland now. Does she have a foal on the ground?
Yeah, so she's a lovely filly by Wooten Bassett. It's a very good cross. Obviously, it's already produced a Group 1 winner. Wooten Bassett has been moved to Coolmore and Tipperary, and he's just going from strength to strength, and I'd imagine he'll be a champion sire in time. So it's her first foal, a filly, lovely filly, great attitude about her, likes to dominate a little bit amongst her pals in the field, quite a brave filly, so we're very excited for her and her future. She'll race for us, so very important for our breeding programme as well.
And you like to give your mares a lot of time with the foals. Can you tell us a bit more?
Yeah, look, I don't do it differently from everybody, but we leave them with them. I remember the first year Jerry was looking at me going, it's getting late, we're going to start weaning, but unless there's any issues conformationally or anything with the mare, the foals will stay with them well into October, sometimes early November. I feel like, obviously, first of all, we're not a commercial operation, so we're under no pressure to separate them so that they can be prepared for sales. And separately, I find the longer they stay with them, the easier the transition of weaning is. So we find when we take the mares, the foals drop their heads and eat away, and the mares, they don't stress out or panic. So it's a good system, it works for us. So.
And you definitely work from the ground up when it comes to producing your horses. I mean, you have a fabulous place, the grass looks amazing. Where does it all start?
Yeah, so when we got here, it's a very organic farm. We don't put any chemicals, no weed killers. We're very much focused on aeration. We have an organic fertilizer called Sobac that we use, which is broken down leaves and things like that. But we have a very loose soil base from it. We've tons of worms, which is great for the soil. Grass, as you can see, is very lush. We also, we'll cut it for the first few months as it's growing just to thicken it up, and then we'll leave it, which is quite interesting. But it gives her a really dense sod. Great for galloping on, and horses love it. Yeah. So.
And your sponsorship with Leopardstown, you had quite a good season last year with us in Leopardstown.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about
great season and great time. I remember Champions Weekend in particular. The Atlantic Coast was running in the Group 2. We had a big crew with us from the farm, and it was actually my first time being there since I moved back. And we had such a good time up there. It was a great atmosphere. The place was packed. Great music, every bit of fun. But we won our first Group race in Ireland there with Ocean Jewel. I think I've mentioned it before. It was nice to have an ex-Kildare footballer training our first group winner and winning in Dublin. So, but yeah, Ocean Jewel won the Group 3.
She's with Willie McCreary, isn't it?
Yeah, and she's racing on this year. She's in a Group 2 at the end of this month. And Atlantic Coast, then obviously he ran in the Colts race on Champions Weekend and finished third behind Diego, and then went on to win the Group 3 at the end of the season. Bright Stripes, who was second actually in that race, he just won there to Curra the other day. So it's a good race. So we had a great time, very successful, and delighted to be partnering up with this race for fillies.
Yeah,
so.
And we're delighted to have you. So hopefully there's plenty of success for Howard.
Yeah.